Now that my son is 16 months old, I thought I would come on here and make a video on ways to entertain your toddler, because this is my third go around with this and my son be living his best life. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing ways to entertain your toddler. It's practically free if you already have this stuff. I will say I anticipate my son to come in here and mess with some things that I have, so that's why I'm sitting on the floor. But yeah, if you're new here, my name is Shadiamond. I'm a homeschool mom to a 5, almost 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old, as I said. So let's get into the video. I want to break this video up into categories based on whether it's outside, art, toys, things of that nature, right? So far we have 3 categories. Just stay with me and definitely watch to the end of the video where I share some great tips, right? So first we're going to start with things that you can do outside. My son's favorite thing to do right now is go outside on a walk, right? And when we go on a walk, he's always drawn to the grass, and he likes to play in the grass, he likes to pull on the grass, he likes to just explore, you know, sit in the grass sometimes. And so sometimes I allow him to take his shoes off where he can just feel the texture of the grass or whatever the case may be. But also when we're on walks or whatnot, he's able to point out different animals. He's able to stop and listen to sounds, or if something moves, he's very attentive and trying to see what's going on, right? And so during this time, I do narrate what's going on. I tell him what things are. If I see an animal, I'll make the noise that the animal make if I can. So that's my first thing. My second thing I would say to entertain your toddler is to take them to the park. I feel like everybody knows this, but sometimes it's underrated because we feel like because our child is 1, they're not really going to enjoy the park. You know, the slides and things are too big for them. There won't be any kids their age there. We have to be super attentive and stuff like that. But listen, the park is going to wear your little one out. That's a plus, right? And they're also going to work on those gross motor skills, which includes them learning to run, them learning to climb, them learning to jump, and all of those things, as well as the social aspect where they are interacting with kids, whether they're a little older than them or whether they are around their age. So getting them outside to the park. My son loves to climb on the slides. He loves to interact with the things like the musical instruments that be at parks. He also enjoys walking around and interacting with other children that are out there. So my third thing I would say to entertain your toddler is going to fall under the art category. Hear me out. Art does not have to be messy for your toddler. There are many no mess or mess free things that you can purchase to minimize the mess. But me, you know, I welcome the mess, right? I want them to get their hands dirty. I want, you know, well, I'm talking about my son. I want him to get his hand dirty. I want him to feel different textures and stuff like that. So something that we like to do right now is finger paint. And so I posted a video on that, like a short or a reel or something like that, showing how he enjoyed finger painting and how I allowed him to actually squeeze the paint himself. I'll put a picture or a video up on the screen of that. That's the first thing, finger paint. Now, I don't remember letting my girls do this. I introduced the washable Crayola paint when they were a little older. Something else he enjoys doing is writing or scribbling on their easel, right? So my girls have an easel that we use for, you know, different lessons or painting or whatnot. And I give him a dry erase marker and let him just go scribble and, you know, live his best life, right? So an easel. The next thing I would say as far as art is to give them those jumbo crayons for little hands, or you can give them regular crayons. They may break, but it's all the same, right? And let your child scribble, give them some paper or whatever the case may be. And also those dot markers are perfect for them grasping and holding on to the art supply, right? And making their own little art. So my son really enjoys that. I'm going to try to put some pictures of everything that I talk about because he is currently occupied right now. So I can't really show you, but that's something that he really, really enjoys. Any type of art, he's all for it. Any way that he can do and imitate what he sees other people do, he's all for it. So that leads me to my 4th thing. I'm losing count, y'all. I'm losing count. My 4th thing would be to include them in your day-to-day tasks, like your chores, or if you're prepping to cook food, or if you are just trying to introduce them to practical life skills, right? And so I shared a video on this too. I'll put it on the screen where I showed my son where he was trying to sweep, where he was trying to clean up his spills, where he was trying to, well, where he was actually getting his clothes out of the dryer, his cloth diapers out of the dryer. He likes to take things to the trash. He likes to do whatever he sees somebody else do, right? And that's the beauty of the toddler phase. Like, I really enjoy seeing him do things for the first time, exploring things on his own, gaining his little independence, and just trying to do what he sees everybody else do, right? It's so cute to me, and it's also very fascinating because, like, I just had you and now you're becoming your own little person. So I love it. My fifth thing is going to be, and it's coming, y'all, but here he goes, y'all. Say hello. Look, say hey. I got him some figurines and stuff because I knew he was coming in here. Here you go. My fourth thing, now that he's actually playing with it, is to have anything with wheels, y'all. So anything with wheels, anything that can move is entertaining, right? Especially if you're playing with it with him. This is actually this one came with one of his tables. I think we had the little what is it called? Maybe I'll put a picture of this on the screen too as well if I can find it. But you know, it's kind of like a activity center sort of thing, what you give your child once they start to sit up by themselves. So these are some toys that came off of that thing. We didn't really get a lot of use out of that, but he still enjoys using cars and anything that moves or anything that he can tote around. He loves it. He loves it. And we're moving all over the place now. We're not on art anymore, guys, but large animal figurines are something that he's definitely enjoying as well. And I just showed it to y'all, but I have things like dinosaurs and tigers, and to make it even fun, you can put tape over it, like have them rescue the animal or rescue the car or whatever the case may be. Like, that's always super fun, and they can actually work on their fine motor skills. My next thing I'm going to say is going to fall under the category of musical instruments. My son loves to bang and tap on stuff, so a drum set is something that you can introduce. A xylophone is something you can introduce. I don't know, what's other musical things for toddlers? I can't think of anything right now. Maybe a piano is something that you can introduce to your toddler. They would definitely enjoy that. My battery's about to go dead, so I have to go really fast, y'all. I'm sorry. The next thing I would say is to introduce balls of all sorts and kinds. We have the ball pits that children absolutely love that can be used for color sorting. We have the balls with different textures, and they can explore the smooth, the rough, the spiky, all of that sort of thing. And then we have like big balls, small balls, balls that light up. The gist is they enjoy balls, and you can roll the ball back and forth. You know, once they're of age, you can start to play catch with them or have them catch the balls or whatever the case may be. And so balls are just a super fun way for toddlers to, you know, figure out what's going on. So I lost count, y'all, but my next thing I would say is to introduce jumbo puzzles. So y'all know I'm a huge advocate for name puzzles, and I have my son name puzzle right here. So I introduced this very early, and I just let him take out the letters or whatever, and then I say each letter to him, and then as he get older, he'll figure out where each letter go or whatever the case may be, and then we'll eventually teach him his name. Next, this falls under the line of puzzles as well. I like to introduce the jumbo knob puzzles for working on their fine motor skills. Once they grab the jumbo knob, you can move on to the smaller knob puzzles or whatever the case may be, and that'll be very fun for them. My son is busy, y'all, so I can't show y'all, but I may put a video up. My next thing is going to be books of all kinds. The touch and feel books, the sound books, the finger puppet books, and he's actually messing with books right now, but this is one of the sound books right here, and when you touch it, it makes a sound. It's not on. Hold on. Let's see. So he's not a fan of this book, but this one is the animal sounds, and so he can also just match, you know, animal figurines to the different animals in here. He has a little farm set that I gave him or whatever the case may be, and so this is just a fun way for him to why are you running? I'm sorry. This is a fun way for him to learn animal sounds when he's ready, because right now he's a bit terrified, but he's curious, right? It's also different textures that he can explore. So yeah, books of all kinds. Read to your child. Do silly songs. Do silly songs and just have fun. My next thing we're going to introduce is this pickler triangle. It's not a pickler triangle. It's called the Learn and Climb triangle from Little Partners. So this is something that I highly recommend. My son definitely loves this, and I wasn't a fan. I thought that, you know, the Montessori influencers were just you know, trying to sell product, but this is something that my son loves and he has definitely mastered at an early age. So there are different levels to this. I'm going to do a full review, but there are different levels to this. You can let it up, you can let it down, depending on the age of your child. And so my son is a bit, you know, adventurous right now, so he be trying to go all across it, but it helps him with, you know, the growth motor skills, those muscles, that strength, and it keeps him entertained for a very long time. This can be used as a fort. It comes with a slide, or you can buy a slide to go with it. So I have this slide right here, y'all, that I need to attach, but this one is a stepping wall on this side, and then it's a slide on this side. It's very heavy. Next on my list was going to be the magnetic tiles, these Magna Tiles. So what I do with these for my son is put them on the dishwasher, and I have him practice pulling them off, pulling them down. Once they get a little older, they can match the colors or whatever the case may be. You can do the dishwasher, you can do a magnetic board, you can do your refrigerator, or any magnetic surface that you have, your garage, whatever the case may be. My son loves to interact with his sisters. He likes to knock theirs down when they build stuff. But yeah, these are definitely a good investment, you know, for the older toddlers, right? So because I see him interacting with his sisters, I let him use it. But before then, I don't think I introduced them to my girls at one, right? Last and final thing for this video before my camera dies is going to be sensory bins. Y'all, I love sensory play. And you can use things like water. You can use things like rice. You can use things like pom-poms, pasta, kinetic sand, whatever you have, honestly. Whatever is not a choking hazard for your child, sensory play is amazing. And all you have to do is insert bowls, spoons, funnels. I have a bin of rice that I dyed, so these are different colors. And so what you do with the sensory bin, you can use water as your base and just put toys in there. You can use water and just add spoons and bowls and stuff that you can pour, or you can be creative and use rice. You know, you can add things like this. This has a little hole where, you know, if you had sand or whatever or water, it would come down. But of course they can just scoop and pour, right? You see he's intrigued and he's looking. I'm going to do a full video on simple sensory bins, so you don't even have to add any figurines. You don't have to add anything fancy. Just add cups, spoons, bowls, things out your kitchen, because that's what they want to do, right? Here you go. Sensory bins are a fun way to build connections with your child, for them to figure out how things work, you know, cause and effect. And it will keep them entertained for the longest time. I feel like sensory bins keep them entertained way more than anything that I've listed or said in this video. So that's all I have so far, y'all. My son really enjoys all of the things that I mentioned, and I will definitely follow up with a part 2 if I missed out on anything. Like, my camera is blinking, so I'm not gonna be able to finish this video, but so far that's all I have. I will definitely catch y'all in my next video in this toddler series that's going to be on, I don't know. Stay tuned and you'll figure it out, right? Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn your notification bells on so you can be notified on all of my videos that I'm currently doing in my toddler series. That's all about my toddler, right? Or my experience with my girls as well. So thank you for tuning in. Let me know if this was helpful, and see you in the next video. Woo.